Hey YouTube, John here. I wanted to talk about the things that I'm doing to prepare for World War III. So let's get after it. Hey, welcome back to South Texas Preparedness. Remember to like and subscribe, even comment if you're enjoying what I'm putting out. So World War III looks like it's about to happen. Let's talk about what I'm doing to strengthen my position within my current area, and what you can do as well. First thing I think that everybody in the preparedness space should be doing is storing more food. I don't think that you can store enough of it. Calories are vital. I think that it's the biggest hole in modern America's society, or modern American society. We don't store enough food, and I think that if it doesn't expire, if you're using preservation methods, then why not stock more of it, especially while food is still relatively cheap. It's just a grand opportunity, and I would I'm capitalizing on it, and I think you should too. And not surprising, right after food, storing more water, getting more IBC totes and rainwater barrels. Huge. Especially with it becoming very dry out here in some of the parts of Texas. It would be nice to water my garden when there's water restrictions. So, storing more water. I'm trying to get another about 300 gallons. Sorry, wife, if you're watching this. I'm gonna be getting more water storage. Love you. All right, now the fun stuff. Ammo. Ammo is going to become very scarce during a worldwide conflict. Not really surprising, kind of a first order effect. So I'm getting ammo that I routinely train with, and any kind of specialty defense ammo, because I think that they'll both dry up pretty quick. It's also an election year, and that could really play into it. We typically see a little uptick in violence and political protests, so it's better to have the ammo that you might need than need it and not have it. One of the biggest things that I see is if World War III kicks off, is that we know that hackers are actually in our grid and a lot of our public services, public works, what have you. So I think it's very important to make sure that you are as self-reliant as possible, because the grid, I feel like an enemy force, if they can't hit us economically, which they can, or if they cannot hit us physically, that's kind of debatable, they'll hit us on the grid, or they might do a combination of all three. Who knows? I'm not the enemy. So the grid, it's very fragile. Not just storms knock it out, but if a hacker or a group of hackers decides to take down a power grid, well, we know how that can end. So make sure to have battery backups if you can afford solar, or if you can just do generators. All of the above would be best. So alternate power sources, get them. And this is the one that about half of y'all hate. Building a group. You have a group, right? How often do you talk to them? Do you communicate with them? Do you do things together? Do you eat dinner? Do you go work on their properties? Do you hang out? Do you form those bonds? You probably should, because if bad things happen, it's always nice to have a team of people that you can call or key up on the radio, and they'll come help you out if your situation's bad. So continue building groups, continue networking, and having a crew, whatever you want to call it. Very important. So I highly recommend that. I'm continuing to do that on my own and with some buddies. So continue building a group, fostering those relationships, building new relationships. It might be one of the most important things, because you can store as much food and water as you possibly can, but what happens if it gets destroyed or stolen? You can't give up. we're never going to give up. But maybe having some friends and family that have the same mindset, they can help you out a little bit. So continue building group. And if you're not, and if you haven't built a group yet, there's still time. It does take time, though. You have to remember that, this isn't going to be like we met a couple times and now we're, best friends and I'm telling them, all my plans and everything. No. You got to build trust. You got to find out where they're at. You got to see, what their quirks are. We all have quirks. And, really find out what makes them tick. Make sure that you guys can get along. So, build a group, build a network, build a mag, build a tribe, build a crew, whatever you want to call it. A Viking longship. Just do it. And coming back to food, I'm also growing more food. Working on getting some more fruit trees, so that I can garden as lazily as possible and still produce calories. The fruit trees will take care of themselves for the most part. Little upkeep and produce calories for years to come. So I'm a huge proponent of fruit trees. And just regular gardening. I think it's huge. You should too. Livestock. I have purchased some new chickens and also hatched, well, not me, I didn't personally hatch them, but I've had a couple broody hens and they have hatched more chickens for me. So I'm really working on having a consistent food source and a consistent protein source. Food production, do it. All right, training. Training is something that I'm still working on every day, not just for me, but for my group, making sure that before anyone presses a trigger together in a group setting, I would like to have a hip pocket, stop the bleed course, take 20 or 30 minutes, talk about chest seals, show chest seals, the application, tourniquets, all of that good stuff. Making sure that, God forbid, if there's ever an emergency, or if there's an emergency right when we start shooting, everyone knows how to help themselves and help others. Just makes sense. So yeah, training, not just for me, for the group, family, making sure that anyone that could possibly shoot knows how to operate a firearm properly, knows first aid techniques, things along those lines. I'm going to be doing some more rucking soon. It's definitely worth it. And I say I'm going to be doing some rucking soon is because I actually injured my knee. Not proud of it. But what I can tell you is that it really does solidify the fact that you need a group. Because what if my knee decided to screw up when, the world ends, the zombies come out or whatever? I'm going to be hobbling around. I'm not going to be very effective at whatever I'm doing. But having a group of people that you trust and have your back, got a way better chance of surviving. So it's something to think about that, yeah, okay, right now I'm injured and it sucks, but I'm not, risking my life for anything. I'm not having to do anything crazy to protect myself, and it sucks. Imagine if, the world ends. Not great. So having a group, it's great if you're injured too. Medication. Stocking up on medication, not only OTCs, but things such as potassium iodide. Now, do I believe a nuclear strike is imminent in World War III? Not necessarily, no. But I'm going to have a healthy supply of potassium iodide and potassium iodate, just in case. You never really know. So I'm going to go ahead and stock up on that. Any OTCs that I regularly use, painkillers, aspirin will always be, aspirin, acetaminophen, ibuprofen, any of the commonly used ones. because, hey, if a situation comes down to where I'm going to be doing a lot more physical labor, I'm probably going to have some aches and pains that I'll need to get over. So I'm going to stock up on those, antacids, things along those lines, anti-diarrheals. I'm going to go ahead and stock up on those. So I would definitely recommend increasing your medication game. So that is it. That is what I'm currently doing to prepare for World War III. But what I'm really curious of is, what are you guys doing? Please comment below. I would love some new ideas and some new thoughts on what to prepare for with World War III possibly coming. I think it's probable. But that's my opinion. If you guys don't think World War III is happening, comment below as well. But I'm very curious to hear what your thoughts are on this. So that's all I got today. I appreciate you guys so much, and talk to you later. Peace.